What's up guys? Just wanted to do a quick troubleshooting video for your Howl R1. So if you're ever using your Howl and you feel like the flame isn't getting big or it seems restricted, there's a couple things to check for. Number one, let's reset your red regulator knob and the valve on your 20-pound propane tank or your 10-pound propane tank. What you're gonna do is turn that red regulator knob all the way off and your tank valve all the way off, and then slowly turn your tank valve on your propane tank all the way on, and then slowly turn your red regulator knob all the way on. After that, light it up and see if your flame goes back to the normal just under 3 foot height. If not, the next thing you can do is try and clear the jet in your Howl R1. So the first step is super simple. See if you can find some compressed air. We've got some here on the table. And all that we're gonna do is turn your R1 on. So turn it to the high position and then blast some air down it. So I'm gonna come in here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can hear the air rushing through the system. So to me, that tells me it's clear and it's ready to go. So again, after you blast some air through it, hook it back up to your regulator and see if it burns good. If it doesn't, we'll move on to the next step. All right, so the next step, if you have blast compressed air through your Howl R1 with the valve on and you've reset your regulator in the tank and you're still not seeing the flame height that you normally should see, the next thing we're gonna do is actually clear the jet in your Howl R1. It takes a couple of steps. It's pretty easy, so nothing to worry about. The two tools that I need is a 5/32 Allen key. So again, that's 5/32 Allen key and a 5/8 wrench. So I'm gonna take 6 screws off of the skid plate on the Howl R1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll fast forward this bit. All right, so once you remove your 6 screws, remove the skid plate. It just comes off just like that. And you're gonna see your gas line connection to your elbow, finally into your jet. So we're gonna remove 3 parts here. First, you're gonna back off this gas line. Then you're going to loosen this elbow, and then you're gonna remove the jet. So first things first, we're gonna back off the gas line here. I've got a 5/8 wrench. I'm just gonna loosen her up. All right, so once you get it loose, you just pop the line up, out of the way, just like that. And then you can come in and grab your elbow. And you can kind of lift the gas line to get it out of the way. All this stuff is not overly tight, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get it off. And finally, you're gonna need a 7/16 deep well socket. You're just gonna come in here and loosen your jet. All right, so now I've pulled the jet, and this one didn't have any obstructions in it, but just for example's sake, you can see there's nothing in the hole there. In here, there's actually a little bit of debris in there, so I'm gonna go ahead with this compressed air. Just kind of clear it out. So now you can see in there's nothing inside the jet, so it's all clear, ready to go. Okay, so we cleared out our jet, made sure there's no obstructions. Now this is very important. You wanna make sure the shallow end is down. So there's a little cone in here, and it's only about, a few millimeters deep. You wanna make sure that end is the end that goes down, and this deep end is the end that points up towards you. So again, shallow end down, deep end points up towards you. So I'm gonna put that shallow end into here and just run it in with my hands. Then I'm gonna torque this thing down with my 7/16 deep well socket. And we're torquing this down to 8 Newton meters. If you don't have a torque wrench, just run it in, basically a 1/4 turn past snug. Don't crank it to death. That's it. Next step, we're gonna put our elbow on. So again, putting the elbow back on here. And I'm gonna run it in with my hands, just so I can lift the gas line out of the way. And then right there, it's basically once it gets snug, it's again a 1/4 turn past snug, nothing crazy. Take that 5/8 wrench and just spin it around until it lines up with your gas line here. All right, so you want it directly in line with your gas line. So your flare on the unit should be right in line with the flare on the elbow so that they seal. And you're just gonna add a drop of Loctite. Just like that. And then you come and run this guy on with your hands again. And we're gonna torque it down. Again, using your 5/8 wrench. And you're not gonna torque the life out of this. Basically, you're gonna run it in till it stops, which is right about there. So it's not a ton of tension. You can bend parts if you over tighten it. But basically I ran it in until it was finger tight, and then it was a quarter turn past finger tight. To recap, I put my jet in, shallow end down, deep end up pointing towards me. Then I hand threaded on my elbow, and once it got finger tight, it was a quarter turn past snug there. Put a drop of Loctite on my elbow, and then finally my 5/8 wrench, I hand threaded on my nut till it was snug, and then it's about a quarter turn past snug again. And to be extra diligent, the last step you're going to want to do here is hook your R1 up to some gas and take a little bit of Windex or soapy water and just spray that connection and make sure there's no bubbles. What you would do is hook it up to some gas, and if it was leaking, you'd see some bubbles in there. If it is leaking, just come in here with your wrench, get it a little bit tighter, and it should be good. And that's it. Okay, final step after you leak check this is to put your skid plate back on. So the H in your howl is gonna face the quick connection over here. Put that guy on and run in your 6 1/4-20 bolts with your 5/32 Allen key. Okay, that's it.